Hello, this is Uncle Jim. Last night, my son replaced the heavy trigger in the inexpensive Pak-9 Romanian AK 9mm pistol. And he's doing other mods, but today is testing the trigger and safety checking and doing all that stuff to make sure everything's okay. All right. We're testing 2 rounds at a time for safety, make sure the trigger's okay. Dot has been moved, so. Alright. Good luck. Is it empty?
Yep.
Alright. So far, so good. Brass is flying about the same. Okay, another round with just 2 rounds in it, or another mag, a different mag. Alright. Hey, the dot's still on. He took the rail up a couple times. Alright.
Yeah, I took this whole thing off a couple times.
Alright, that was a different bullet, different mag. Trigger's working. One more time.
Spit coming out because of the oil I put on the trigger.
Got a little oil coming out. Okay. This is a Magpul 17 rounder. Different bullet. Testing the trigger. I can't believe the dot is still on after you took that rail off. Do we have any chemtrails for Scotsman? Don't see any. Alright, let's load up more. Alright, now we can load it with 10 rounds. Different bullets, different charges, weights. Ooh! It's running good. Ejecting about the same with a different trigger, which I was worried about. Fun stuff, baby. Empty. And it was totally fine. So there we go. We'll go in and talk about it. First, we got to pick up our brass. All right, so all the brass turns out perfect. Again, like I said before, absolutely perfect. Now we got to think about policing all the brass in the backyard. We're getting a little lazy here. What the hell is that? Man. And this one here, that one's going to get caught in the snowblower if we don't pick it up. What the hell? I don't know. And what the hell is this? There's a live round. He's yakking live rounds, leaving them in the back. Boy.
What?
Jeez. You're yakking live rounds in the backyard and just leaving them there? Ah, jeez, boy. What are you gonna do? All right. Clean up aisle 3. Okay, so everything worked perfectly and it was awesome. So let's go over what we did. Previous video, we sighted this in with the stock trigger. 2 things we didn't like was all the bulkiness it had, because it's really bulky up here. And then it comes down and has a magwell for the Beretta 92 and the Glock that you can easily replace. And he wanted it more retro, so that's what he did. The other funny thing is we weren't sure if it was sighted in anymore because he had taken this off. And this connects to this, it pivots off. He had taken that off to inspect what he's going to do up here. And then, like in the previous video, he's going to make it retro. He already chopped a little handguard here that slips in there. And then he's going to manufacture this and get rid of the plastic and all the bulk. So this will pivot right here, and it'll all be steel. That's the last thing he needs to do. So as far as the trigger goes, the trigger that comes with it and the hammer spring, the actual spring for the trigger and trigger return is totally different. So we tried different triggers, and it comes with a grip. The trigger guard is all plastic, and then it goes to here, and it's all plastic with a bunch of bulk. So some triggers didn't fit, you know, they were bottoming out here. So he put a surplus trigger guard in there. He changed the grip because that's what he wanted. It's an AK receiver, so it was easy to do. And then one thing he had to do is put this adapter in, so it's not all one piece how you get it. And this adapter now holds the mag well, and it's adjustable a little bit. So wherever he set it was perfect because everything worked perfect. Different mags, different ammo, different brand mags, you know, Glock and Magpul. And so that was awesome. I'll take it apart and show you what he did with the trigger there. And I was worried that the trigger was so heavy and the hammer spring was so heavy that maybe that was made on purpose to slow down the action. But it turned out not to be true. All the brass was flying the same distance, so that was all good. We were careful about the trigger, doing 2 shots at a time to make sure nothing funky was going on. And it's awesome. Now this trigger is super awesome. And it already shot really good with that heavy trigger. And it was really accurate. And now this thing's going to be super accurate. It's a really good barrel, really good chamber. There's no problems with the brass whatsoever. As a matter of fact, it's still hitting the primers really hard with this ALG trigger in there. So we didn't affect anything. And I was worried about the timing, everything. No, everything is fine with the ALG. So he went with the ALG, even though he has a stock trigger guard and we could throw something else in it that we took off from an AK. He wanted the ALG because he knew the easy modification, and then I'll show you the inside. So there's the scoop there. All he has to do now is he's going to change this, make it less bulky. This will all be steel instead of plastic. And we're good to go. We're good to go. Good threading on the barrel. Very good, accurate barrel. Very good chamber. It's supported. It's awesome. There's no issues, no dings on the brass, nothing. It's just like you shot it out of a really nice pistol. It has perfect reloadable brass. All right, so let's take it apart and I'll show you what he did inside, and that'll be the end of the video. Okay, I got you zoomed in on 2 power here. So the stock spring and trigger group was a little different, and it wasn't using an AK spring, so one side went for the trigger return, and obviously you have your hammer spring. So this is an ALG trigger that drops right in. However, this is a single hook, and what you have to do to make this fit is the tabs on each side. You got to remove the right side, and I'll show you when I release the hammer. And that's all you have to do. And then you need a stock AK spring, and it works perfect. So this trigger is really nice. This thing's going to shoot like a tack driver now. It already did with the really heavy trigger. So let me try and release this. I got this set up on the bullet mold here. All right. So are we in camera still? Yeah, right here. Can I even go 5 power? Let me move you up to 5 power. All right. So see the hammer here? It has a tab here for the hook, right? So to make this fit, all he had to do, see, it's like a T. He took this part off. And I asked him, hey, what about heat treat and everything? You don't want to get this hot when you're cutting that. And he said, no, I was holding it with my fingers. It didn't even get hot. So he had a little cutting wheel. and lopped it right off of there and made sure it was heat treated still and there was no issues. And that's all there is to it. So he just took this side of the tee off, and the thing is fabulous. So, and I was worried about the pressure slowing down the bolt. Here, let's get back out of... slowing down the bolt and everything is fine. So, pretty cool. And we're talking about a really, really nice trigger now. Okay? Little take up, perfect break, really nice reset. And there you go. So far, so good. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, I don't recommend anyone do this, okay? Don't do what I'm doing unless you know what you're doing. Typical, just like reloading or whatever. Now, another thing is, one thing you noticed is with this adapter here, this is an adapter, so you don't have to use all their bulky crap. Right here where the safety goes down, this little piece needs to be just ground off. So the safety detent hits. Right now it works perfectly, but you don't have like the detent up here. You don't have it down here where it clicks. And all this has to do is get removed right there. And you're done. Other than this. So now he's going to have a nice little sleek Pak-9 that is totally different than what you get out of the box. And of course we have the adapter here for the brace and everything. And we are loving this thing. It shoots so good. It's amazing. And $3.99 is what he paid for it, brand new. And what are you going to do? So this was inexpensive. He already had that. Had to pay for the LG trigger and a surplus spring, which was really not that bad at all. And you got a really nice tiny AK in 9mm that has a beautiful chamber. So that's my report. The only difference is, see the previous video, they have a buffer here because it's a blowback 9. And of course the bolt is different. And I'm not sure if this is MIM or whatever because it's got little dots on it, this part. But these have been around for 8 years and I haven't seen any complaints at all. They just work. And they work perfectly. The extractor doesn't mess up the brass. It's just, we're laughing our ass off how nice this turned out. And today, this was a question. And we solved the question on the trigger. Yes, you can have a really good trigger on one of these guys. If you know what you're doing, you're safe about doing everything. I guess that's it. Until next time, thanks for watching. America.